Today I'm going to be showing the basic principles on Google Documents, more importantly on Google Forms. What we're going to be doing is basically setting up a questionnaire for students to answer and for them to respond to any questions you might have, such as, what is the main characters in this book, to how did you do on the homework, anything like that. Starting off, you do need a Gmail account. So if you don't have a Gmail account, you do have to set it up. It's quite painless and easy to get through. But what we're going to be taking a look at today is in their apps. So if you click on here to our apps, click down on more, even more, and we get to this page where we have several of their apps, including you have Picasso, which is basically how to edit and share your photos. Most people use Google Maps. If we keep on going down, Google Drive is another good one if you're trying to share documents on different computers. Let's say you have a computer at home and you want to access all your stuff. Google Drive is a good one. What we're going to be taking a look today is Google Forms, found here. To start off with, you could choose a theme, whatever theme you like on your form. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to pick out this wedding cake right here. And I'm going to name this as Wedding Ideas. So as you can see right now, we don't have that form that we just clicked on, but we do have a questionnaire. It's not going to show up until you click on the View Live Form. So if I show you this, that's my first question. I haven't typed it in yet, but this is what it's actually going to look like, rather than this very basic, bland form. So let's type in a question here. And to save you guys the trouble, I'm going to go ahead, pause, think of a couple questions, and I'm going to show you each one. This first one, I asked, what is your name? Now if you click on right here where it says text, you have all these different versions, all these different types of questions that you can ask. So you can ask it in a text form, you can ask a paragraph, multiple choice, you can have check boxes, choose from a list, scale, grid, date, and time. So here, the first question that I always ask is, what is your name? You need that because it's not going to tell you who sent in the form. So you do have to put it as just a text. Now I also clicked on here saying that this is a required question. So in order to submit, they do have to submit their name as well. I'll click on done, and as you can see, the name pops up right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a second item, but if you need to, you can always edit this first question. So let's say the first question you say, well, I need to add a little bit more to it. You can just click on edit, and then it will pop up with everything that you just did. So I don't need to change anything there. But you notice here, this is my second question. I do need to edit that one. And let me go ahead and create the second question for you. Here you can see my second question is, have you been to a wedding? So here I choose it from a list. And it says yes, no, I don't remember if I did. It must have been a really good wedding then. This is also a required question. So I check the required question. And I'm clicking once again done. I'll do 2 more questions and then I'll show you what it looks like in the live view. On this next one, I have what was the best part about the wedding. As you can see here, I did check boxes so they could click more than one. We have food, drinks, music, location, lighting, bride's dress, dancing. Now if you feel like that's not in the order that you want, let's say you want to change this just right here to the left, you can actually switch these around. So if, let's say, you want to put the bride's dress up here, you want to put dancing up here, drinking, music, let's just make it in alphabetical order. So let's put the food right there, lighting, and then location. At this point, if you wanted to delete any of them, all you have to do is just simply click on the X over here to the right. Now, because my previous question was if you went to a wedding, some people would not have gone to a wedding. So I can either make one of the options I didn't go to a wedding, or it can be that it's not a required question. So I'm not going to require this as a question, but I'm going to go ahead and click on done. Now let's take a look at our live view. What does this actually look like? So here you can see I have 3 questions. What is your name? Have you been to a wedding? What was the best part about the wedding? If I click on the live view up here, as you can see, I have once again the wedding cake. I have what is your name? Have you been to a wedding? And what's the best part? Let me just fill this out really quick. Yes, I've been to the wedding. Bride's dress was important. Food was important. Music was important. Oh, can't forget the drinks. I didn't really dance too much. Lighting, eh. Okay, so that's all I have. Submit. So it's been submitted. Now this was my own. This is an example of what the students would be doing. So if we go back to here, if let's say I want to view the responses, all I have to do is click right here. It says view responses. And if you notice, it has my name. Have I been to a wedding? Yes. And it lists everything that I clicked on as well. So this is in an Excel format, so you can manipulate it. You can go ahead and make it into alphabetical order, anything that you wish. So next, we're going to look at how do we get this into the form of our students. There's basically 2 ways you can do this. The first way is you can actually embed it into your Weebly. So let's say you have your Weebly, you have it set up, and you tell all your students, okay, I want you to go onto my website, and I want you to take the form that's on there, and I want you to fill it out. All you have to do is highlight this. You need to control copy, and then you can go ahead and embed that into your Weebly. Now, let's say you don't have a Weebly, you don't have anything to embed. The next thing that you can do is you can actually send the form to the students. Let's say you're on Remind 101. You would just click on here. You would do once again a control copy. You can go on to Remind 101. You can paste that in, send it all to your students, so now they have a link. The other thing that you can do is you can also have them basically copy it down in class if that's the only method that we have. Now, so let's say we spent a couple days, we closed out all these. Let's go ahead and review real quick. How do we get into everything that we just did? So once again, I had to go to Google. Now, if you're at, let me just explain something right here. If you're at this location, you notice that there is no apps right here. Well, the problem is you're not officially on the Google website. You do have to do google.com. And you'll notice that's when your apps will pop up. So we'll go to more, even more. Now here, if I scroll down, there's 2 ways of finding the. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back in. Here's my apps. And instead of clicking on the forms, we're actually going to click on the sheets. So here, if I click on sheets, so I'm going to do a file, open, and once it pops up, it's going to have my drive. So you're going to have your own drive there as well. So if I click on wedding ideas, because that's the form I just created, it'll pop up with the exact same answers that I've just been putting in, and it's encompassing. So every time a new student puts it in, you'll be able to see at what timestamp as well, and then you'll be able to judge whether they did the assignment on time. So I wanted to take a few seconds. I wanted to show you one that I've already done. That might give you more of an idea of how this can be used. Okay, let me try this again. Looks like I was blocked that time. So if I click on the live view form, you should notice I have this name, the school, the teacher, all require questions, and then each one of these questions is a different questions for them to ask. So we have the sales tax at a clothing store is 8.75%. Sales tax on an item is a function of its price. Which of the following is the dependent quantity in this function? So you can see that the kids can answer just like if they would on any other question as far as EOC. I only have 4 questions here, but once the kids click submit, it's all in one form, so I can easily give them a grade. Hopefully this has helped. Hopefully you can see how this is used. Hopefully this will be useful for you in the future. Hopefully you're going to be able to use this. If not, it's still a great tool to use even outside the classroom. Thank you.